It's Andy, it's Tuesday, and if you're like me, let's be honest, you're nothing like me, but if you were like me, you woke up and you have that Tuesday pre-open the sports book and click the NHL tab jitters because you know how many games are just going to be waiting to stare at you. I don't know if you've ever been on a reality show. My guess is you haven't been on The Bachelor or Bachelorette. Either have I. But my thought is that's got to be a pretty anxiety-inducing experience. I see, oh my God, she's attractive, and she's attractive. And you have to somehow, I guess I only have to pick. But you see all these games, but you really got to try to isolate the ones that deserve a rose. Fortunately, I got I'm like, no, that girl's making it. I don't care. She's the worst personality in the world. She's making it past round one. And there are two, this is what a preposterous analogy, but there are two line combos. I already told you guys best values in hockey are the line combos. There are two that are automatic bets. There's one that I brought up earlier in the season. We haven't had the chance to be blessed by its presence in the plus money. And I told you earlier this year, if you click this guy's name and you click that guy's name and the result is a plus, just put it in. I don't care if they're facing the 2003 Trap Devils with the two-line pass to help them and Martin Brodeur in net. I don't care. I would still take these two guys for a point. And that is Braden Point and Jake Guentzel. And more specifically, when they're paired with Nikita Kucherov. Well, they're with Kucherov. They're also back on the top power play with Kucherov. This is one of the best lines in the NHL. I don't care who they're playing. They're playing the Oilers. How many goals have they given up these last two games? But regardless, on their own home ice, playing their best hockey of the season, you give me Point and Guentzel plus 115. It shouldn't really need much more explanation than that. Thank you very much. Now, the next one, just a slight tier under that, but don't think I don't love it almost as much. This is JT Miller and Artemi Panarin. They're facing off against the New York Islanders. Back-to-back games since the break. They've hit their point props. They're on the top line together. They're on the top power play. And against the New York Islanders, who just gave up 4 to the Stars, I think right before the break, they gave up like 5 or 6 to the Minnesota Wild. So they're not playing any great defensive hockey. And also, by the way, if you ever had any doubt that, this guy hates this team. I remember last year, Andy hates the Capitals. Andy hates I'm a New York Islanders fan through and through. Nothing ever supersedes the sniffs. These Rangers point props are the correct sniffs. I don't care if they're the Islanders' rivals. And Artemi Panarin and JT Miller, that's also pulling a plus 115. They were able to really get going in that last game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's what Pittsburgh does. They just get your offense going. Washington scores 8 goals against them. Then the Rangers score 5 goals against them. And now I'm hoping that they offer that same type of thing up to the Philadelphia Flyers, who are coming off of a great win, scoring a bunch of goals. I'm just hoping that Pittsburgh does for the Flyers what they just did for the previous two teams they played. Just offer up all sorts of scoring chances and opportunities for the offense. Last game for the Flyers, we saw Owen Tippett come back, and that line with Michkov just straight up dominated. So you want to know what a regular guy would say? Well, oh my God, Pittsburgh's playing awful. Everybody's throwing unbeaten. Give me the Flyers money line, minus 155. No, I'm way smarter than that. Give me the puck line, minus 1.5 for, I don't know what, plus 160 or something ridiculous. You want to know what I like more than that? The over 3.5 goals against a team who has poor defense, poor goaltending, hemorrhaging chances, giving up 14 goals in its last 2 games. The over 3.5 goals, that's a good value, plus 120, but it still isn't as good as the line mate point prop combos on Philadelphia. Tippett came back in the last game. He got paired with Michkov, so the Tippett point prop is good on its own, but those two together, you're looking at like plus 250. Fantastic value. That was like the Sharks winning last night. That's what like plus 250 was. But that's not just it. Remember, they traded Farabee, Frost. They brought in Kuzmenko. Kuzmenko's been paired with Konechny, and they've clicked in back-to-back games. So I kind of like that line as well. I'm going to run. You're talking about a team that just gave up 5 to the Rangers, 8 to the Capitals. I think there will be room for multiple lines to eat. Give me that full first line with Konechny, Lawton, and Andrei Kuzmenko. That's over plus 500. So let's see if Pittsburgh can throw us a bone or two out there in that game against the Philadelphia Flyers. So I like the Flyers there. And then lastly, I just want to I want to take a peek at that Boston Bruins Toronto Maple Leafs game. Boston's going to be fighting for their playoff lives out there. They need to keep winning these games. We know what the history is between these two teams, the Game 7 from last year. Division opponent, like I said yesterday, I know the Knights game in the last 3 minutes decided to go wild, but that was a 2-1 clenched ass cheeks game, and I think you will be seeing more of that here in this final third of the season, especially when you get like division opponents playing like this. Division opponents specifically with playoff implications on the line. And I think this one is going to be of the lower scoring variety. Am I going to take the under 5.5? No, I'm not. Instead, I'm going to get a better price by taking 2 third liners on the Toronto Maple Leafs and taking their under. So give me the Bobby McMann and Max Domi double under against the Boston Bruins. And then on the Bruins side, a little bit of trickle-down snakeonomics. You guys saw how trickle-down snakeonomics worked yesterday. We live by the snake, die by the snake. We got the Noah Hannafin point over. Unfortunately, we didn't get the Mark Stone point under. However, the beautiful thing about taking 2 plus 155s is you go 1-1 and you're well into the profits. That's the whole beauty of the line combos, by the way. You can have an abysmal quote-unquote record. I love the people who chase records as I chase my bank account going up. I will gladly take a losing record by having those plus bets which allow you to make profits. Something like, okay, let's say the Konechny line doesn't hit, but the Michkov line does. So you're 1-1, but you're up plus 1.5 units. So that's kind of how we go about this. So I'm going to take that double under with the Toronto guys on the third line. And then also a little trickle-down snakeonomics play here. Morgan Geekie is flipping with Pavel Zacha in terms of the power play. So it was Zacha and Pastrnak on the top power play, and they obviously played on the top line together. They send Zacha down to line 2, Geekie up to line 1. Just like with Hannafin yesterday, I do project this game to be somewhat lower scoring, but still, that's a value worth sniffing. And that's what I have for you here on a busy Tuesday. I really think I tried to isolate the ones that I like the most. You know I like point props the most. That's where the values are, and that's what I'll continue to try to find for you guys. So good luck to you. Better luck to me. If you want the whole litany, you want to talk about the Bachelor and Bachelorette, that's available over on the Patreon, patreon.com/Andy Francis. That's where I will send out those line combos. But even if you just want to join to support this show and the stuff that I put out on this channel, you're the only spot. There's no sponsors. I keep repeating it because it continues to be the truth. You guys are the lone sponsors of this show. Appreciative of all of you who are on there. You can join at patreon.com/Andy Francis. If not, no worries. Just make sure you do those things that Week C is going to remind you to do.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Week C coming to you live here from Miami. Do not be a gargoyle. You see the palm trees there? There might be some in there at night. You don't have to be one. Do not be a gargoyle. Subscribe to Andy's channel for the most entertaining NHL sniffs on YouTube. Make sure you do it.
What was that ruckus?